You pray, you reflect, you think all the things. And then immediately, right, when God already gave it to you, all the things, immediately you turn around and ask 3 people what they think. Yep. You turn around and ask 3 people what they think when you already know God literally laid out the plan for you, the way you should execute it. Like maybe not all the steps, not all 100 of the steps, but showing you at least step 1 and 2, what should happen and the way you should move. But you get in, you like, oh, maybe I need to go consult all these people about it first. Like, what?
To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin.
Hello, hello, hello. And thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jas Abraham. I am your host, Jas Abraham, your favorite boundaries coach. And today's episode is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believes how we approach a situation matters. And choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power, and it's time to embrace it. So get your Joyful Styles apparel at joyfulstyles.com. That's JOYFULSTYLEZ.com. Let's go. Look, for those of you who have not yet taken that boundaries assessment, take some time out right now. Just hit pause, come back when you're done. It takes 2 minutes or less of your time to take that boundary assessment. That link for you is in the show notes. However, you're also welcome to text me. Just text me the word boundaries to 210-880-0771. And I got you. I'll get it sent right over to you. Take that assessment. Come on back. All right. Look, y'all. Oh my goodness. I am ready to get into this episode today. Whoo, child. Okay. Y'all, I am ready to get into it today. Look, I'm about to just go ahead and jump into it. Y'all see, look, we talking about, I want to just tell you straight, plain, just stop outsourcing your confidence. Stop outsourcing your confidence, right? I'm talking to those of you, right, who look to other people for reassurance before you trust your own decisions, right? Even when it comes to what you know God has already told you to do. Right? You're looking for outside validation. You're looking for other people to stamp and approve on what you know God already told you to do. Right, y'all, oh my goodness, y'all, I'm talking about this. Look, y'all know, to hit me, child. Y'all know it was not a conference call, y'all. I've had different things in my life and incidents and just times in my life when I'm just had to remember, like, yo, Jas, you already know what's up. Like, it was not a conference call when God told you to do this particular thing. Doesn't matter that this person said, well, you can do this instead and make more money or do this and do that and whatever. Like all the things. Oh my gosh, y'all, it was not a conference call. Right? It was not a conference call. Now, listen, y'all, before I go any further, I want to let you know when I'm throughout this episode, when I'm talking about outsourcing, right? I'm saying, I'm talking about you letting something outside of you determine something that should be decided within you, right? You already felt the Holy Spirit move in a way and say certain things, and God, like, look, this is what we're doing. This is how I want you to do it, etc. Then you're looking for approval and all this other stuff, right? We're not looking for the outside approval. God already approved it. God already approved it, y'all. Like, y'all, this, when I was thinking about just as in my own life, when I reflect and I think about like the things that like God has really like been showing me like for literally all my life, this of what I'm doing now and in certain capacities, y'all, like I've been coaching people before I knew I was coaching people. Like, I know this is part of my gifts and what God has called me to do. Part of that, I know that for sure. Like, there's no part of me that thinks otherwise, right? And if anybody ever said, oh, Jas, you can't coach, you can't whatever, it don't even matter, right? Because before I had the confirmation, like, when I say confirmation, when I'm talking about, I should say, before I had the testimonials from people and I'm seeing people breakthroughs and I'm seeing it right before my eyes, like God had already called me to do this. Right, y'all? When I was young, I was having, look, it's crazy to think about when I was thinking about this earlier and stuff. Like, y'all, like when I was young, I had adults, right? Adults, like grown human beings coming and talking to me and getting certain advice and different things. Weird. Like weird to like when I'm thinking back, right? When I think back, I'm like, wow, why is this adult coming to this young adult or this child in a sense, like asking certain things, right? Like just this teenager, because I can remember definitely up like my teenage years and things when I would do this. But I'm just like, why like weird to think about like an adult, but like God had already put something in me, right? My gifts, this has already been whatever, and for whatever reason certain adults saw it was necessary to come to me and ask for certain advice. I don't know, it's crazy to think about, right, y'all? When I was in college, right, I was having coaching sessions in my dorm room before I knew I was having coaching sessions in my dorm room. This is what I've been doing. And y'all, like, man, and I don't need nobody else to tell me that this ain't it. Like, it doesn't matter, y'all. Nothing else, like, there is nothing else that I've like done or doing that lights me up the way coaching and consulting people and advising in that way lights me up, mentoring, all of that, like that space. Nothing else lights me up like that. Right. And I know like God has called me to do it. So I'm not looking to somebody else for their validation or to increase my confidence in what I'm doing here, because God has already showed me time and time again, years over years, like decades, really over decades. Like, wow. And y'all, oh my goodness, I reflect a lot. Right. I reflect a lot. And then certain things come up, like when it comes to this episode, and certain things popped in my mind and my spirit that I didn't even think about in years or even months. But I'm like, wow, God, that's wow. Okay, y'all. Look, let me keep going. But I'm just like, wow, this is y'all. Stop outsourcing your confidence. It's from within. God is already giving you that thing. Right? God has already shown you what that gift is. Like God has already shown you, you don't need other people's approval to get started on it, to start making moves on it, to start like none of that stuff. You don't need somebody else's approval to say, oh, yeah, this is going to work for sure. Like you don't know, like God has already ordered your steps. I believe that, like, man, and sometimes when I be tripping, like, God, look, certain situations and certain things ain't looking like the way I thought it would look. But I remind myself, like, it's the way I thought it would look. That ain't necessarily the plans that in the way that God would have it to work out. Like, man, y'all, okay, y'all. Okay, let me keep going. But I'm just like, y'all, I felt this. I felt this because there was times when oh my goodness, help me, Holy Spirit. There was times, and like even in more recent years, I think about a year or two ago, year and a half, maybe, like whenever I remember in more recent years, it was something like that. I talked about it on a podcast, I think in one of these episodes briefly, but there was someone was like, yo, you doing this, but you could be doing this instead and to make more money and do this and and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I do have that certain skill, but that's not the thing that like lights me up. Like that's not the thing that I would want to wake up every day and do and feel like the most joy and fulfillment in my life. Like that ain't it. I did that. Yes, I did that in a efficient, effective way at a high level for a decade. Yes, I did. And parts of that I love, right? But it's not the thing that God ain't tell me to just do this, that particular thing, because it'll make me more money. That's not what I heard God say. I heard clear as day, more than anything else, more than building the community and all the switching and the way I'm structured my coaching and consulting business specifically now and all the things. Like before, what I was doing, I was trying to do it my way, but God, I heard God clearly, write this book. Write the book. The book is written. It's like almost out here to you all. You'll be able to purchase real soon. Right? We finalizing some things. I'm looking at some proofs and whatever, like the copies, like making sure it's coming out the way it's supposed to, all the things. We in the final stages of it. So it'll be available to y'all soon. But it's like, y'all, if I was looking for everybody else to tell me what to do when I already knew what God told me to do, like where would I be? unfulfilled somewhere. Probably, yes, probably making more money than I am now. Probably. I don't know. But I believe, and I choose to believe, that me doing this in the way that God told me to do it, it might not look all the ways that I picture it to look here in this particular season, but it will, because I trust God. I trust that God will not let me down. God will not God would not, God would not lie. I believe the promises. Right, y'all. Okay. Let me get back here, because I'm telling y'all, there's some of you, you're out here, you're doing it, right? You pray, you reflect, you think all the things, and then immediately, right, when God already gave it to you, all the things, immediately you turn around and ask 3 people what they think. Yep. You turn around and ask 3 people what they think when you already know God literally laid out the plan for you, the way you should execute it. Like, maybe not all the steps, not all 100 of the steps, but showing you at least step 1 and 2, what should happen and the way you should move. But you get in, you like, oh, maybe I need to go consult all these people about it first. Like, what? Like, we must stop doing this, y'all. Because look, when you're confident in whatever, it is that God has told you to do, all these things, when your confidence is dependent on other people agreeing with that thing that you said, or you believe strongly in your heart that God has already told you to do, you lose a piece of that confidence. You lose a piece of that confidence every single time when someone don't agree with you, or they don't see the vision that God gave you. Again, it was not a conference call. We must remember this in all the things that we're doing. Some people will get it because God is already orchestrated and have people aligned and bring people now into our lives to help us move that vision forward and things of that sort. But there will be many others who don't see it, who don't get it, and think you are like out of your mind, even when they never even did the thing, did the thing you're looking to do. Right? They're not even operating and working in their gifts, but they're trying to tell you not to do yours, right? They got their disbelief on you, like their unbelief, all the things. They're pushing all that stuff on you. Oh, well, it don't work out. It ain't work out for me. Or they ain't got nothing to do with you. Right? Nothing to do with you, y'all. Let me tell you, right? I want to make sure I'm making it clear, right? What this looks like when you're doing that, right? You outsourcing your confidence. That's just polling multiple people before you make a decision, right? Say you started moving on a certain thing, but before you make any decisions, right, you start asking this one and that one and everybody else, and then now you make now you're overwhelmed. You're feeling overwhelmed because you not asked so many people and their opinions, and there's so many things coming at you. You like, now I don't know which way to go, when God already told you the way to go. But you felt like you needed to ask everybody else before you could move, right? Before you could make one decision, right? No, we're not doing that no more, right? Continue again. What this looks like, it's feeling like you feel so strong about something, so strong, like this is it, this the one, this you know what I'm talking about. You felt this feeling before, right? You feel so strong about something until someone else questions it. Now they question what you doing and what you got going on, and you deflated. Like, oh, well, should I be doing this? Or should I go about this way? Like all the things, y'all. I'm y'all. When I retired, from military life, and I was in this transition period, and I knew what I already, because I was started doing some of this coaching, because I've been doing it all my life, but really forming a business and doing certain things the ending part of my military career, I started working on these things and whatnot, just trying to get a clear picture of what it looks like, all these different things. And I remember after that fact, this little period, there was loved ones, right? People I love and care about, and I know they love and care about me, and they mean well. I know they mean well, but I remember them asking me, oh, so when you gonna get a real job? When you gonna get a real job? Like, real, what does that mean? The truth is, oh, thank you, Holy Spirit. The truth is, my real job is to do what God told me to do. That's my real job and purpose here. Is not doing the thing that you feel that you feel is stable and gonna make me a certain amount of money and all the things. It's not necessarily that. My real job is doing what God said to do. Because anything outside of that don't matter. I can build it so great, so beautiful, so big, and it can crumble. because I didn't do it on the foundation that God told me to do it on, or do it in the way that God told me to do it, or do the thing that God told me to do. It could just crumble. Right. But I remember that, y'all, I know they meant well, but I'm okay. Look, until someone questioned it, like, about that. Like, I have to set them straight. Like, this is what I'm doing. Like, this is my life. This is my business. This is okay, child. Okay, y'all. Look, now again, continue what that looks like. It looks like needing reassurance after every boundary you put in place. Like, you put a boundary in place, and you need somebody to, like, oh, that's a good one. So yeah, do that. What? Like, you don't need that reassurance. You know what you need. Like, now this is different if you working with me as your coach, or coach one-on-one, or in the community, right? We in the boundaries and more community, and we discussing this, and you're trying to, like, okay, this is what I'm looking to do, and y'all want to, like, help me. How should I structure this or put this in place? Things of that sort. That's a different vibe and different situation. We're not talking about just the randoms, like you putting things in place because of them, and they're not agreeing with it, or they not like about that. Like, no, I don't think that's gonna work for us. So you second guessing it, or like, are you like, so you're not gonna do it because they don't agree with it? Yeah, we're not doing that, okay? Right? Again, what is another thing? What this looks like is you interpret any pushback you get at all the things you say to do, whatever. Any pushback you get as a sign of you doing something wrong. Right? If it's wrong because they get pushed out. We are humans. We will agree to disagree, and sometimes we just straight out disagree. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You know how I know it's not the end of the world? Because somebody already disagree with you, and look at you here. You're here listening to this, watching this, whatever form you're doing it, right? You're here. It was not the end of the world that they disagreed with you, right? It's okay. Let's keep it moving, right? It is time to start trusting the discernment that God gave you. Time to start trusting the discernment God gave you. Right? We're not playing these games no more. This is a new year. We're doing new things to get new results. Period. Right? Oh my goodness. God is so good, y'all. Because let me tell you why this is a problem. Right? You're doing this, and why this is a problem. Right? You continue to you train yourself, right? Not to trust your own voice. Right? You train yourself. You're not paying attention to the sermon that God already gave you. You're just like, okay, this is what I think I should do, but I need all these different validation and all these people to agree with this, and then make sure that, like, so you training yourself to not trust you. That's one of the worst things you can do. Right? You training yourself not to trust your own voice, right? You're becoming easily destabilized. Like, you feel like you was good, happy, all excited, and somebody disagree or whatever with you, and then you feel deflated. You like, oh man, I don't know which way I should go, what I should do, and like there's no stability in your mind anymore. When you were sure it was the thing, and somebody just pop your little balloon, deflate what you got going on, right? Then what problem comes in because you delay decisions unnecessarily. Now we wait until, like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't do this, or maybe I shouldn't put this out in that way, or maybe I shouldn't, because, like, I'm just not going to make a decision on it because like, now you delaying all these things. Like, I know there's things in my life that I'm sure I delayed. Like, I do believe, like, it's so interesting in the way God works, because I do believe the book will be released exactly when it's supposed to, in the timing and all the things, right? And I also believe, right, like, in conjunction with that, right, I also believe that I delayed certain decisions about the book because I was running away from the assignment. Right? I was running away from the assignment and just doing this work, period, because, again, I'm human too. Right? I'm human. And it took some time for me to get to, all right, God, I surrender. I'm going to do it the way you said, because clearly the way I said and the way I'm trying to do it ain't working out anyway. Right? Like, certain decisions was delayed unnecessarily. Right? Okay. Like, yeah, I'm going to keep it moving, right? Because why this is, again, a problem, right? Because you give other people authority over your life. You give other people authority over your life. Y'all, I stopped this a long time ago. Because I realized that certain things, like y'all, even as simple as, but it wasn't simple, like, even I'm gonna say it this way, because this is one of the things that definitely changed things for me, when it coming about certain authority over my life. Because like it was okay, yeah. So in college, right, I was in this relationship, right, that it was just literally, the truth is, it was like the worst relationship of my life, right. During the time, I categorize it as that now, looking back and things of that sort, and actually, getting on the other side of that and other things. But one of the worst relationships of my life by far. Right. And I was in this relationship, and then after the relationship ended and all the things, I was just pissed. I was upset. I was like all these different feelings and emotions and all the stuff, like mad at the person and then mad at myself for allowing certain things and all these different things. And I was just like, you know what? Like, y'all, there was a day like back then. I don't know. I can't tell you exactly, but I believe I knew I was still in college. And I decided, like, I was like, you know what? This ain't hurting nobody but me. Like, this person has so much power over my life, not living their best life, not even probably thinking about me, caring about what's going on over here. They're living their best life. Like, I'm not even to think about, but I'm giving them so much power over me by having these feelings and emotions and all these different things. And like, what? Like, no, this too much power for a human being to have. Are you serious? No, like then and there, back then, I made the decision to never do that again. And I have not. Right? Not to say I haven't had my heart broken since then and things of that sort. Things happen, but I dealt with it differently. Like nothing, no human being would have that power over me ever. Ever. That was then. I'm so glad God is so good that at a young age, right? My early adulthood, I realized like this is not okay. Like this is not okay. It is not that deep. It is not that serious. Life goes on. It is not the end of the world, right? And keep it moving. Like, right. So you can't look, you doing this, you outsourcing that confidence, like, oh, you're not gonna feel complete unless you got this and all this stuff. You giving too much authority to the human beings. It's not okay. Right, too much authority over your life. Y'all, truth be told, quiet is kept, right? Not so quiet. But like part of the reasons I decided like the military wasn't for me anymore is because it was starting to be a little too much authority over my life. I was in these toxic environments and I couldn't do nothing about it. Like, oh no, this is your assignment. You have to be here for 4 years. You mean to tell me 3 months in, it's toxic and I gotta be here for almost 4 more years in addition to just to deal with it because you said I need to live here about that. Oh, you said I need to be a part of this about that. It was too much authority for me, right? I did my time. I had a great time. And the time I did have, like, certain parts of the journey and things, but it couldn't be long term because too much authority over my life. Right. I can't, what? Okay. Anyway, y'all. All right. All right. Right now. And again, problem, you keep doing this, outsourcing this confidence, right? You start living reactively versus intentionally. Right? You're not intentionally doing things and taking the steps needed and required to get the thing done, whatever, to have these needle moving actions happen. You're reactive because it's dependent upon what somebody else says you should do or all these different things like that. Right? Like, come on now. We must stop doing this, right? Because if everybody gets a vote, you never feel solid. You never feel like, okay, this is the way to go. Like I should go because we are human beings. We think differently, right? We are unique individuals. Even when some of us like some of the same things, it don't matter. We are still very unique. We are one of one, right? So look, we must stop doing this, right? Now I'm gonna tell you. Again, y'all hear, like, you've been hearing, you've been listening, like, I don't believe like all of this stuff you just randomly woke up one day and this was it. Like, this is how you work. Like, it was a pattern, things that kept happening over and over again to kind of train you in a way to believe this stuff, right? One thing, pattern, right? You've been taught that you need to be agreeable for people to see you as good. Right? You a good girl. You a good look because you agree with all the things. Right? You like, no, right? You was taught this, right? Maybe some of you growing up, right? You needed approval to feel safe. Like if they didn't approve of your certain actions and stuff, you didn't feel safe. And that's valid in certain situations. That's one of you, right? You felt that way. I get that, right? You here now. right? You're here now, you grown now. You can make your own decisions, do different things, right? Some of you just flat out fear of being wrong, right? Or you fear being disliked. Look, we are human beings. We will be wrong sometimes. It's okay. It's okay. We're not perfect, right? We will be wrong sometimes. And there's people that just dislike us just because, or dislike what we're saying or doing just because. Like, look, everybody ain't for you. It's okay. It is not the end of the world. It's all good, right? And another thing, right, where this comes from, like, part of this thing is that you confuse like needing you hear like give wise counsel and all the things, but you confuse counsel with dependence, right? Now it's a difference, right? Seeking wise counsel is maturity, right? It's a mature way to do it, right? However, needing validation, needing validation just to move is a sign of insecurity, right? It is not the same. And again, this is why you should be like, look, use that God-given discernment. If you don't have it, what you feel to be a certain way, get it, right? Look, invest more time with God, right? So you can actually have more and more of that discernment versus like, well, I'm asking 3 people because I feel like it says seek wise counsel. No. Is it wise counsel though? They never done the thing that you looking to do, right? They never even built their own thing or whatever it is whatever. They have no idea what your industry or whatever it is. Like they have no clue really on what it is, but you're seeking them and their approval and their like right? What? They never been in a lifestyle, an entrepreneurial lifestyle, right? Or they never worked certain things in corporate America. They never been in the military. They never like whatever, but you're seeking, like they don't have that experience that you have, but you're seeking their validation, or they're not even where you want to be. Right? That is not wise counsel. Don't get it twisted. Right? All right, now look, y'all, I'm gonna keep it moving, because if you keep doing this, I want to let you know, if you keep doing this, because some of you are likely feeling some of this already, what I'm getting ready to get into, but if you keep doing this, you will chronically second guess. Like it's just your second, like this is just your thing to do, second guess all the things, all the decisions, just second guessing, right? You start having decision fatigue. It is a real thing, y'all. I've experienced, like, bro, I am tired of making all the decisions. Like for real, right? Like all the things, because certain situations, I've set my life up in a way that no, we're not doing that. Okay. Again, I talked about before, like lacking that internal stability, right? You keep doing this, is what you be feeling more and more of this, right? This one, y'all will be, look, you have resentment when the advice doesn't work out. You're like, well, you told me to do this, man, and it don't work out. Right? Because look, look, don't put these people in these compromising situations. Don't set people up that you love and care about and all the things just to start resenting them because you upset that they told you to do XYZ, but it ain't what God told you to do. And now you mad at them. Like, what? Look at yourself first, okay? Right? Now, and a big part of what happens when all of this, right? You feeling all this, then you start feeling behind in your life. I know we all have felt some part of that, right? Because there are certain decisions and things that I made that I knew better. Like I knew what I felt was better for me in my life, but I did certain things and made certain decisions based on others. I say it that way. Right? Others, whether it was a relationship other or maybe certain something that maybe one of my parents has said or something, like, whatever, just based on others. But I changed that up. I had to change that because look, if my life would have been, I believe my life would have been so miserable if I was just living it the way that other people just wanted me to live. I just lived like that my whole life. How happy would I be? How much joy would I truly have? Right? Like when I know I'm being disobedient to God and all that, like what? Like God is above all you human beings, period. Like I can't, child, okay. Anyway, y'all, let me tell you, I'm going to get into the shift, right? We're going to do the work, get the work done, the shift, right? Ask for insight, not permission. right? Again, we talking about wise counsel, insight, not permission, right? They're based upon what they say is not determined if you do what God told you to do. Like, no, that is not it. Okay, ask for insight, not permission, right? A big one, because people just be wanting, like, I know some people, it feels so good when they just talk about the thing, and that ain't me. If I'm not doing the thing I said I would do, it is a problem internally for me. I can't have that. So I make sure I'm keeping my word to myself, my promises to myself, all the thing. Like, if I say I'm gonna get this thing done or do this certain thing, that's what's gonna happen. Period. Right. So limit the number of voices you allow into your process, whatever that process is, whatever that looks like. Limit the amount of people that you let into that. Right. Have like trusted advisors or people that you just want to share certain things with. Like that's cool. Because we are like, yeah, we can get into that another time. But I'm just like, have some trusted people that you can tell some of your dreams, goals, and desires, and who's gonna help you get there. Right? This is what God placed on my heart, and they're not trying to talk you out of it. They're not trying to deflate your bubble or anything like that. It was to deflate your balloon and all that. They just want to help you further with you believe that God told you to do. Period. Right? So limit those voices. Also, practice sitting with your decisions instead of immediately explaining it. Right? Just like this something you decided, like, okay, and sit with that. Like, they don't gotta tell this one that, oh, this is why I made this decision and the way I did it and this, and no, sit with certain things. Like, if we're not even gonna get into that, because some of you, that's a whole nother thing. I don't want you to get it twisted or confused or anything like that. But just sit with those decisions, right? Sit with those decisions instead of immediately explaining it. Again, and I want you to like remember this, like we are humans. People will disagree with you, right? It is fine when people disagree with you. Be fine, right? The shift. Be fine with people disagreeing with you. It is not the end of the world. It is not. It will happen. Like, it's okay. They gonna disagree, and we gonna keep it moving, right? Be fine with people disagreeing with you. Again, I know some of this and a lot of this, right? You hear certain things here on the podcast, and it's foreign to you, right? But you can start saying things like, you know what? I decided to fill in the blank, right? Whatever it is that you decided, right? Let them know I decided to go this way. Right? Period. You don't need to explain none of that extra stuff, or just say, look, I'm comfortable with this choice. When people say, oh, you should do this, well, I'm comfortable with this choice. Like, okay, and that's it. Like, you don't need their validation or approval, okay? Right? You don't need what they say to enhance and increase your confidence about whatever it is that you're doing. You don't need that. You're seeking that. Right? You don't need it though, right? And also certain situations, like, look, I've thought this through. And this is the direction I'm going and things like that. Like, I've done that plenty times. I know when I was thinking about certain things, I've done plenty times. I told my parents, like, I thought this through, specifically like my parents, like, 'cause they know, right? They know me, and I don't just make rash decisions and doing this, like, whatever. I think things through before I even present it to them, or I have things certain going before I even like come out. I think it through. So tell them I thought this through, right? And they're gonna believe that, right? And the more you start showing that you about that life instead of just outsourcing this confidence to them, like, people will get up off of your back. Like, okay, I hear you, but I thought it through already. I thank you, but I'm good. It's all good. Like, no, we're not trying to do it your way. We're doing it this way because I thought this through already. Period. Right. Now I want to let you know that when you're doing these things, right, your confidence grows when you start to honor your own discernment. Right? You're making these decisions. You like, okay, this is what it is. You discern in between this, that, and third. You're actually seeking wise counsel versus just people and all these different things, right? Your confidence grow every single time you're honoring your own discernment, right? Every time your confidence grows, right? So help your confidence to grow. Period. And I want you to remember, right? You're doing all this work. Put in the work, right? None of this work unless you work it. So you must work it for it to work, right? It will work. Right? Also, I want you to remember, right? You're doing this and stuff, like, you can respect wisdom without surrendering your authority, right? You can listen to people and what they're saying and have their wisdom, right? When you seek this wise counsel, but you don't have to surrender your authority. At the end of the day, what people say and do, what there is suggestions, right? This is what somebody might have said. You might need to go back to God and be like, God, all right, this is what it is. This is what this, like, help me, like, make it like the way you would have me to do it. right? Sometimes God will say, yeah, the way they say do, because they use that person to help you with certain things. But still, right? You don't have to surrender all your authority when you're seeking this wisdom. Okay, respect the wisdom, but don't necessarily surrender your authority. Yeah, because yeah, all right. And also, when you're seeking this wise counsel and all this stuff, right? Make sure you're seeking it without abandoning the clarity God already gave you. Like, you see it clear as day, like nothing else been so clear. It becomes murky, right? The water become murky when other people putting their little things in there and adding this and that, and not like, but you already see it clear as day because God already showed you. Right? You might not know how it's gonna happen because, child, y'all, there's some things that God showed me in my life. I have no clue how we gonna actually do the thing, but I'm just gonna trust. I trust in God. Like, I trust you, God. That's what it is. All right. So, like, don't abandon the clarity God gave you when you're seeking His wisdom. And I want to I want to I get ready to get out of here, but I do want to leave you with this too, right? You don't need more opinions. You don't. You know you don't. You don't need more opinions. You just need to trust what you already know. Right? You don't need more opinions. You need to trust what you already know. Right? That's it. Again, not thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm gonna put that out there. Not in the know-it-all way. Know-it-all type of way. I know it all. I don't need no help. I don't need that. That's not what I'm saying here. Please don't get it twisted and confused. Right? Please don't get it twisted and confused. Like, you've already got the steps and cleared, and okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, not in that way, because I know some. I know people. Yeah. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna leave that alone. Look, y'all, I'm getting out of here, right? I got some things I'm gonna take care of. So, yeah, that's what I have for you today. And I want you all to, like, if you haven't already, come join us in the Boundaries and More community, right? We're not playing games. Like, we want you to get your breakthrough too. Like, for real, for real. Like, it's cool. You might be implementing some of these things on your own, and you might see some of the results, but like, it's rocky or shaky or whatever. Like, come join us in the community to help solidify some of these things that you're doing, right? Like, again, not seeking the approval and all the things, but there's people that get it, right? That get it and want to help you grow, right? Alignment with God, right? Helping you grow that thing that God has told you to do in a way, and help you. Just might not have an answer. Like, that might be the step that you need to take, right? The wise counsel that you may need to have. Right? Come and join us in the Boundaries and More community. That link for you is in the show notes, or you can go to community.boundariesandmore.com to join us there. Love to have you and welcome you with open arms. Once you buy this life and ready to get some results, like, don't get it twisted, okay? Also, look, for those of you who have not yet follow us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Again, that's on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. And yeah, that's what I have for you today, y'all. Look, be sure, y'all know I'm about this intentionality, right? Be sure to go out and have an amazingly beautiful day. Amazingly beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and be back here next week for more Boundaries and More with Jas Abraham. Talk to y'all then.